Wine and Crime contains graphic and explicit content that may not be suitable for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
Listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast where three friends chug wine, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accents.
Oh yeah, welcome.
You bet.
Pretty
sure.
pumped.
Don't you know? Oh gosh.
My name is Amanda.
I'm Kenyon.
And I'm Lucy.
And I, for one, have to say that I'm really glad this is not recorded, like, with a camera, because I'm literally wearing a t-shirt with a picture of a skunk on it that says, "It wasn't me."
I'm just real sweaty.
I'm
and
real
braless.
sweaty too.
And definitely braless. Always braless.
I'm sitting on a bare mattress in my attic.
That's a little creepy, Ma.
That's fitting.
On top of all my bodies.
We decided to go big or go home, so our first episode topic is necrophilia.
Delish. Wait, that's different. That's cannibalism.
But is there like a special word for necrophiliac cannibalism?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll find it. If there
Or
is,
is
we'll
all
find it.
cannibalism necrophiliac?
I don't know.
They can
That's
cross
a different
over.
episode.
Actually, I'll be discussing that later in this episode.
Oh, good.
perfect.
Okay.
We'll just
Lucy
wait for
picking
you.
up the slack.
Cool. Well, to get us started, I'm going to go ahead and pick up a crime pairing for this episode. Like Kenyon said, we are working with necrophilia today. This is, not shockingly, kind of hard to pair with a wine because it's a pretty fucked up subject. So
Because how do you choose?
Yeah, how do you choose? There's so many that you could pick. But I have chosen an absolutely beautiful Nebbiolo to pair with today's crime, necrophilia. This particular Nebbiolo, it is Dominico Negro. It is a Langhe Nebbiolo. It is a 2014, kind of young, but absolutely delicious. We're going to pop it open right now. You can listen to me struggle with this bottle. First time I ever opened red wine for like a table at a restaurant, I spilled all over some guy's completely irreplaceable, like hand-knit Swedish sweater, like Norwegian sweater.
The family
awkward.
heirloom. Ooh.
It was pretty much passed down through generations. So
that was a nice pop, though.
it was a nice pop. Oh, I am feeling
Nice
there's a
pop.
meniscus on this. I'm feeling it to the top.
How are the legs?
The legs are short. I don't know. I've never really understood that question in terms of
I think
Unshaven.
Rigor mortis.
Here's my thought process behind this pairing. First, I'm going to give you a tiny little bit of information on Nebbiolo. The grapes are grown in the mountains of northern Italy, in the region of Piedmont. And like I said earlier, this might seem like a little bit of an odd choice, but upon more research, I found that Nebbiolo is sort of like the wine of necrophiliacs. So bear with me. At first, this wine is unassuming. It's gentle. It's harmless. Gets along easily with anything. You're making a prime rib roast, Nebbiolo. You're making a lamb, Nebbiolo. Mushroom lasagna, Nebbiolo. A romantic evening with a corpse, you guessed it, Nebbiolo. You think you know this wine, and then before you know it, it's not just floral, it's tart and juicy. And then it's dry and acidic, and then it's murdering you and defiling your dead body.
Yes.
So, no matter your taste or sexual preference, Nebbiolo will make a perfect pairing. On with the show.
Oh, that was beautiful. Just, you can't see it, but I'm doing the Italian, like, mwah.
I did that
Perfect.
through that entire synopsis. I made, like, little pincers the entire time with my fingers.
I also just want to add that, unfortunately, I am not drinking Nebbiolo tonight because I have had bronchitis for a month. So I will be drinking tonight a fine codeine-laced cough syrup.
She
So,
drinking
cheers.
scissor.
What up, purple
Love
drink?
it. Cool.
So if Kenyon goes radio silent halfway through this podcast, we all know why.
Asleep or dead.
Yeah. We're just
Blanket
gonna have to hurry this bitch up before I pass out. So
We got this. Well, with that said, why don't we get on with our first crime, Miss Lucy?
All right, so I'll be going through a bit of history and background to necrophilia. It actually dates back quite a while, ancient Greece.
I should have picked a Greek wine.
They invented
what was I
everything.
thinking? The Greeks did
They
invent
seriously
everything.
did. There is some Peruvian ceramic artwork from the 8th century depicting the masturbation of a male skeleton by a living woman. Yes, I did have to Google this.
What?
I was a little confused.
How? How
So
did
they-
that even...
Delete our search histories, please.
Right. We need those bracelets.
This is not a drill.
So is this woman, is a live, living woman jacking
Yep.
off a male skeleton?
A grinning male skeleton, yes.
But
How do you jack off a skeleton because there's not a penis bone?
That's what I'm saying. Human men don't have a bacula.
They get boners.
Oh my god. Just because the word is boner doesn't mean there's a penis bone. Okay.
Dracula's bacula. Let's go.
Okay,
Let's
so
just roll with
the
it.
reasoning behind this, and I don't know if like ancient Peruvians just weren't very anatomically up to snuff, but so obviously this comes to no surprise that men's boners are like a sign of their virility.
Right.
So these dead, in the artwork anyway, these skeletons were men of great power, and I can totally see Donald Trump doing this. Someone
yeah.
jerking off his dead skeleton because he's just that powerful and just full of sperm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
God.
one of
I'm gonna
those.
Puke.
I can't imagine the woman was into it.
She never is.
She
Never
never
floats
is.
your boat. Whatever jacks off your skeleton. I don't know.
Ew.
There have also been accounts in ancient Egypt where the people who dressed the dead would leave the bodies out. The bodies of attractive women, they'd leave them out for 3 or 4 days before they were given to the embalmers, so the
Stop.
embalmers weren't tempted to fuck dead women.
Oh,
As like a job perk.
Yeah, I don't know.
it's in their hiring paperwork.
I have not gotten my 3 pretty corpses this month, so do these roll over or...
My corpse benefits.
Is there a cap?
Good God.
Can I get reimbursed for ones I don't use?
Can you sell them back to the company?
Do they pay you out
Anyway.
when you leave? Okay, we're done with this bit.
But, okay, there's a couple other funny things that I want to mention. Throughout history, King Herod allegedly desired a woman who killed herself to avoid marrying him. So out of spite, I can also see Donald Trump doing this.
Been there.
He kept her corpse in honey for 7 years to somehow that preserved it so he could have sex with it.
I wish you could
7
see
years.
my fucking face right now. That is foul.
You've ruined honey for me.
We are just getting started. Up until the 19th century in Europe, if a betrothed girl died before her wedding day, the spouse could still consummate the marriage with her corpse.
What?
Up until the 1800s.
Stop.
Fair enough.
That
I
was
mean,
like
fair
a
enough.
law.
Fair enough.
I mean, they're living in these tiny villages, and like getting married and actually having sex is like the only bright spot in their horrible peasant lives. I kind of sympathize with that.
No. Someone was in this situation. This happened to someone, and they were like, well, she did, but
Go for it.
I
Go
still
for
get
it,
to-
Billy Bob.
I still get to fuck
Fuck
that,
her.
right? And some lawmaker was like, you know what, boss? Yes, you do. I'm going to write that down.
We should
got a
codify
point.
this.
We are, this is law now. You can absolutely fuck your new dead wife. You've earned it. Congratulations. You do
Who
you.
said Congress doesn't do anything? Am I right?
Ugh.
Speaking of legality, in the United States, there is no federal legislation barring having sex with a corpse.
No.
States'
how?
rights. States' rights.
And in Minnesota, it's only a misdemeanor.
Oh, that's good
Oh my
to know.
God.
That's good to know. I'm filing that away for
Know
future.
your rights.
No, you're right.
Hashtag know your rights.
So I also went way down the rabbit hole into the psychology behind this. Turns out there are 10 10 tiers of necrophilia.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Which I will share with you now.
Yes, please.
I'm like shivering.
Did you get ripples?
I totally am getting
Goose
skin
pimples.
ripples. I'm so excited.
I'm pouring more
All right, drum
wine.
roll.
I already can't handle this.
All right, so if we haven't clarified up until this point, necrophilia is defined as recurrent intense sexual interest in corpses diagnosed when it causes marked distress or impairment in regular functioning.
Oh, so just a little bit is not
So
illegal.
only if if it fucks with your regular schedule.
Like, if you can't get to work because you're too busy fucking dead people.
It's like alcoholism.
Casual,
Yes.
casual necrophilia.
Functional necrophilia.
If you're having more than 3 necrophilic interactions a week, you need help.
If you binge necrophile,
Do you need necrophilia to alter your mood or psychological situation?
to have fun,
We're writing a survey.
You guys, you can have fun and not have sex with a corpse.
I'm starting to
What?
wonder if you can after this episode.
you're such a prude.
All right, we're going to go through the 10 tiers.
Okay.
Tier 1, role players, people who get aroused from pretending their live partner is dead during sexual activity.
That's basically me anyway. Right, Dan?
Ted Bundy did that.
Wait, you pretend to be dead or you pretend Dan is dead?
You know what?
Dan is definitely
You do
the dead
math.
one.
Oh my god, my mom's gonna listen to this. Okay, continue.
I know, I just thought about that.
Hi, Mom.
Okay. 2, romantic necrophiliacs are bereaved people who remain attached to their dead lover's body. Well, who hasn't been
Would
there?
this apply? Do you know that show?
To cats.
Well, obviously. No, there's that show, My Strange Addiction, and there was that chick who, like,
Yep.
wandered
yep,
around
yep,
with her
yep,
husband's
yep.
ashes and slept with them every
Yep.
night and was eating them. Yes.
Yep.
Eating them and had to be told by a doctor to stop immediately or she would die. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not
Sprinkle
funny.
some on your avocado toast.
Oh my god. It's not funny. But I wonder if that would fall under that category. Anyway, fascinating. Continue.
Maybe we just added a tier.
Yeah, we can add our
We're
own tier.
only to tier 3.
Oh, good God.
We are only to tier 3.
Okay, here we go.
All right, necrophilic fantasizers are people who fantasize about necrophilia but never actually have sex with a corpse. Tier 4, tactile necrophiliacs. People who are aroused by touching or stroking a corpse without engaging in intercourse.
But isn't
Okay.
I would consider touching and stroking, at least in our house, engaging in intercourse, but that's just me. That's just me.
Stroking to completion?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Stroking
oh,
to
God, I don't know.
completion.
I don't want to know the answers to any of these questions. Continue.
I have so many questions about the oral sex component of necrophilia.
Oh my God.
Like, I need to meet a necrophile.
No.
I have so
Is
many
it
questions.
is it like the waiting till marriage people where in the butt doesn't count?
What? Are you trying to say it's not necrophilia if you fuck the corpse in the butt? Is that what you're saying right now?
I'm not advocating for this. I am merely asking a question.
Good
That's a fair question.
God, purely academic. Purely academic. Okay. Whew. Oh my God, what
All
are we
right.
on? Tier 5?
Again, tier 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Fetishistic necrophiliacs, people who remove objects, e.g. panties or a tampon,
Oh.
or
God.
body parts, e.g. a finger or genitalia, from a corpse for sexual purposes
No.
without engaging in intercourse.
Oh
First of all,
my God.
I just realized that I could die with a tampon in, and that is depressing.
Oh yeah, I've never thought about that. Oh, sad.
Ugh. Oh God.
Let's hope we're long done with tampons and the like by the time we die.
Right? Knock on
Butt
wood.
plug. I mean,
What?
you could have any number of things in your body when you die.
I want to die with.
Just saying.
Never mind. I'm not answering that. I'm not finishing that sentence. You'll have to
future
follow us on
episode.
Twitter to find out what I was gonna say. I'm writing it down.
Oh my God.
Okay.
All right, this is one of my new favorite words. Necromutilomaniacs.
Wow.
Oh my God, that would be such a good punk band.
Can you use it in a
I know.
sentence?
People who a necromutilomaniac is a person who derives pleasure from mutilating a corpse while masturbating, also still without engaging in intercourse.
Okay, that is so many things to juggle while trying to, like, reach sexual climax. I can barely pay attention during, like, normal, totally normal, average, lights off, like, one-on-one, no distractions sexual intercourse. Like, my dog jumps on the bed and I'm out. I'm completely thrown off. That is so much shit to keep straight to be able to get off. I'm too lazy to be a necrophiliac. Or whatever that insane word was. Say it again?
Necromutilomaniac.
Ugh, that's nuts. Okay. Anyway.
All right. So, Amanda, maybe you'd be more of an opportunistic necrophiliac.
That sounds like me.
People who normally have no interest in necrophilia, but take the opportunity when it arises.
You know what? When in
my
Rome,
God.
or Greece, I guess, in this scenario, do as the Grecians.
One Grecian
Nice.
One Grecian necrophiliac.
Okay, so tier 8, we have arrived at regular necrophiliacs.
Oh, good. There are regular ones.
People who preferentially have intercourse with the dead.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I just
So when
prefer
given
it.
the choice,
Yep.
either or, yeah.
A woman's right to choose. Feminist necrophiliac.
When you've swiped left or right, I'm in a relationship, I don't know. When you swiped in one of the things on Tinder and you're all out of matches.
You reach out to your local
Head to the-
morgue and see when they're going to be away from the front desk, or however they secure that.
See when the funeral home closes.
Sneak in.
After hours party.
Ugh, gross. Okay, number 9.
All right, number 9, homicidal necrophiliacs.
Ooh.
People who commit murder in order to have sex with the dead.
Okay.
Ted Bundy.
I like that one. Now we're cooking with
Yeah,
gas.
we're getting into it.
All right, and last but not least, exclusive necrophiliacs.
Oh, no.
People who have an exclusive interest in sex with the dead and cannot perform at all for living partners.
You can't get off unless she's dead, or he, or they.
Know thyself.
Yes.
Know thyself. I went pretty deep into the research here, and there's a couple facts I thought were interesting. There was a study in 1958 of 122 cases of necrophilia. 92% were male.
Woof. Of course.
8% female.
Wow.
That's kind of high.
I know.
I don't know. I feel good about those numbers. Feel good about those. Get it, ladies?
52% had occupational access to corpses, like people who work at a hospital, morgue, or cemetery.
Opportunity. Opportunity.
They think that most people who turn to necrophilia do it out of low self-esteem, a fear of rejection, or a fear of death, which they turn into a desire, which is called reaction formation.
Sure. I mean, we've all been there, so afraid that he's going to say no, that it's like, fuck it, I'm going after a dead guy. I can't handle this anymore. I wonder, though, with that 8% of necrophiliacs, it said were female, correct? I wonder if logistics play a role in that, because wouldn't it be hard, pun intended, to fuck a dead dude? Because, like, I guess I've never...
Well, what about rigor mortis, though? I actually think it becomes engorged.
Would it? I mean, we got to research that. Do we have to research that? But just for the sake of this question...
We should have done
Okay,
that.
listeners, if you know the answer to do you get a boner from rigor mortis, or do you have to die with a boner to have a boner after you're dead? I want an answer to that question.
And what are the chances of dying with a boner?
I mean, dudes have heart attacks during sex all the time. Old motherfuckers.
That's true.
I mean, but I want someone to find the answer to that question. Seriously. I want that.
Tweet us.
Email us at
So
wineandcrimepodcast@gmail.com and tell me the logistics of fucking a dead man. I promise not to report you.
Let's explore this for a minute, because boners are made from blood rushing to the penis. When you're dead, your blood isn't being pumped; it's not going anywhere.
Right.
Plus, rigor mortis affects the muscles, and the penis is an organ.
Got it.
So
This
I
is
don't
why,
think that
this
you'd
is
get.
why you should have been a mortician.
Yeah.
Like you're.
I mean,
so,
I
That's your
this
calling.
is
I
so
could
smart.
be completely wrong, but this is where I'm going.
But the blood also like coagulates and pools depending on the position of the body. So if you're doing like a handstand,
But this is
you probably
this
won't
is
get
exactly
one.
what I'm saying, though. There is so much more that needs to happen for a woman to be able to have sex with a dead male corpse, and by male I mean, in possession of all of the male parts, it's a lot easier to stick something into, a corpse with a vagina. I would imagine.
Right.
I am not speaking from experience, but I can only imagine that it would be easier. I don't know. I feel
maybe it's like a strap-on situation for the ladies.
Okay,
you guys, you're getting ahead of yourselves, lest we forget the tears.
Okay, sorry. We're back on track.
We really only got into intercourse when we got to, like, tier 7.
Got it. So there's a lot of
that's
other
true.
stuff.
Okay.
So lots of masturbation.
Okay.
Lots of
cutting off of
general
things.
arousal.
Thank God. I mean, you really set me straight. I'm so sorry.
I mean, that's what I'm here for.
Cool. Wow, that's incredible. That is all incredible. Thank you.
Yep. Amazing.
All right. So let's just jump right into our first actual necrophiliac.
Yep.
What's the right word for this?
You're doing it.
Jeffrey Dahmer, one of my favorites.
So good.
Oh, necrophiles.
Got it.
There we go. Our first necrophile. Yeah, he's one of my favorite serial killers. He lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
He's a local boy.
Yeah.
Local boy made good.
Cheesehead.
He's a
He's a
cheesehead.
Packer fan.
Ugh.
That's what did him
Oh,
in.
God.
Go
Yeah.
Vikes.
All Milwaukeeites are fucking perverts.
Speaking from experience.
Anyway.
So my friend Ellen lives in Milwaukee.
Hi, Ellen.
Shout out, Melon. What up?
Hey, Melon. So she got married last summer, and I went to Milwaukee to attend her wedding, and I made her drive me past where Jeffrey Dahmer's former apartment building once stood.
Aww.
It is no longer. It is a parking lot.
Did you leave
And
flowers?
I heard that it was because the people who lived there were so fucking disturbed about what happened, and the person who owned the building was like, no,
What a shame.
They
Should've been
just
a
tore the whole
fucking
thing down.
national
Yeah, we
monument.
should have. If we had only had like a GoFundMe
doing-
to buy that building, we would have done great things.
They were doing tours for a little while, but it was like so unseemly that I think someone just grew a conscience and just raised the whole
Rude.
building.
Fucking rude.
Okay, so the deal with Dahmer, he murdered 17 boys and men between 1978 and 1991. But the first case of necrophilia was in September 1987 after he was released from
Oh my
the
God,
army.
that's
He was
literally my birth
overseas in
month
Germany.
and year. Do we know the day?
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say
Holy
that.
shit. Awesome.
I can look
Yeah,
up
it's cool.
the
It's cool.
exact
We're
date.
just going to
I mean,
pretend it was the 30th.
it had to have been
yeah,
your
it had
birthday.
to have been. There's no other explanation. Move on.
It
On
is your
this
birthday. Okay.
day in history.
On this day, Jeffrey Dahmer masturbated onto the corpse of his second victim in the basement of his grandmother's house. Woohoo!
End scene.
End scene. So at age 13 or 14, he had a surgery to correct a hernia. And shortly thereafter, his younger brother was born, and then his parents got divorced. So he said that he started feeling all these violent thoughts around that time.
I wonder if he was like attention starved.
I mean, I've watched some of his interviews. He seems really nice.
Oh my God. And so dreamy.
Real nice guy.
Sweet, misunderstood boy. He had fantasies of dominance and control, which became intertwined with dissection. So here's back to this.
Pick that apart.
He stated that he only killed his victims because they would want to leave after sex and would be upset that he drugged them in the first place. So he'd go out and meet these guys.
I had all
He was
of
gay.
these fears when I was on Tinder, and I didn't murder anyone.
So he would go out to bar. He was an alcoholic also. Go out to bars, pick up guys. Towards the end, he was just offering them straight money to go back to his apartment and let him take some pictures of them. And so they were going because it was the 80s gay scene in Milwaukee, and apparently they weren't that smart about things like that.
Aw.
Or they were just into
Well,
it.
beggars
Sure.
can't be choosers. It probably wasn't a big scene.
Yeah, that's true. So he would drug them and then killed them in various ways. He was very experimental, and I like that about him.
Oh.
He liked the variety.
I feel so bad
He-
for all the like gays that just went home with a dreamy guy. Makes me sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did Dahmer look like? I have like a vague. I feel like I'm blending his image in my mind with somebody else.
He has like nice cheekbones, just a boyish look about him.
Again, these necrophiliacs
next door.
all
looks like
look
a
so
sympathetic.
unassuming.
And in that study that I was telling you guys about, they did not find a correlation between IQ or any like mental deficiencies and necrophilia. It's literally normal seeming people who do this.
Oh, that's so weird.
So it can just strike at any time.
Yeah, but keep in mind Jeffrey Dahmer was also a serial killer. He wasn't just a necrophile, so he was a little weird. So he would bring his victims back, drug them, strangle them usually, then dismember them usually, taking photos in various stages of dismemberment.
So he really avoided confrontation.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
He had oral sex on his unconscious victims, and again, how satisfying would this be? And how do you know when to stop?
Right.
Who's done?
You just kind of go until
Right.
you're done.
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw. So some of the things that he kept, like he'd cut off their heads and put it in acid to dissolve all the flesh off of it, and then like put it in the oven for a little bit to kind of bake it.
Yeah, you gotta like set the skulls.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
One of his victims.
Oh my god.
One of his.
Oh my god. Wait, pause. Where is he getting the acid?
I mean, you could pretend to be a science
hardware
teacher
store.
and order any of that shit. Again, once in this, like, what? You said the 80s, right?
Yeah.
No one gave a fuck about anything in the 80s. You could get whatever the fuck you wanted, just calling people and being like, hi, I'm Professor... I need to order XYZ.
Yeah, I don't think the
Okay.
EPA was totally up and up by then either.
Right.
So you could get whatever you want. He had like big barrels in his apartment where they just keep them there to like dissolve over a long period of time.
That is wild.
Yeah, but one of his victims, he tried baking the skull, like I just described, but he put it in for too long and it exploded, and then there was something else wrong with the rest of his body. And he said that that's the one murder that he feels really, really bad about because he did not get to keep a token of that person.
Oh my God.
Dispose of all of it.
That totally
waste.
reminds me. That totally reminds me of those like Pinterest fails, like when you try to do a craft. It's like a picture of what it's supposed to look like, and then the picture of just the tragic mess that you achieved.
Totally.
Ultimate fucking Pinterest fail, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh my god, we need to make a before and after picture for Insta of like a normal baked skull and then like an
exploded one. I guarantee you we can make this
reality.
happen. We got this. Expectations versus reality. We're fucking real. Amazing.
So, yeah, he was kind of crafty. He painted some of the dismembered body parts and coated them with enamel and, like, found other kind of creative DIY ways to preserve them.
Okay, I'm so glad you're talking about this because I just got that pig skull from work. Don't ask. And I want to know what I'm going to do with it. I mean, we make a lot of barbecue, so we have, like, pig bones and shit, and I've been begging for a dope-ass giant pig skull, and I just got one. And right now, it's just in its own, like, cleaned and bleached glory, but I need to lacquer it and put, like, a gem on its forehead or some shit.
Oh my god, nail polish art. Apparently, I just saw this on Forensic Files last night. Apparently, forensic scientists use pigs to replicate
human flesh,
like for their experiment.
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
Human
that
corpses.
Used to be common
because like the skin is similar, the fat content is similar.
That used to be common for tattoo apprentices as well to practice on pig flesh.
They did it on Ink Master.
Oh.
They don't do it so much anymore because you can make synthetic alternatives that are not obviously gonna like use up fucking dead animals, but they definitely did that for a long, long time. Where have you been?
God, I need to get more tattoos.
By the way, I just want to give you guys an update. I've already drank more than half of this bottle of wine. Continue.
Yes. Speaking of pork, Jeffrey Dahmer also dabbled in the cannibalism, and he tried to eat like the thigh of one of his victims, and he said it was just too tough. He couldn't cook it right. It was just too tough.
Was it like a long distance runner or something?
God.
Probably. I mean, it was
Never try to cook a person who works out.
Yeah, my thigh would have been perfect.
I could feed a village of like starving people. A large village.
My thigh would not be in the lean meats section, let me just say.
It's not a
I
ground
would think
turkey.
that women's bodies would just be more fatty and
Delicious.
just cook better.
Yeah.
Okay.
More to love.
totally
There's more
agree.
to love. All right, so I'm going to wrap up my section with just telling you about one of the last victims that he had.
Cool.
It was this 17-year-old Laotian boy who he picked up, brought back to his apartment. He drugged him. He drilled a hole into this boy's head and
God.
dumped some acid straight into the brain.
What? While he was alive?
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was alive, but he was totally out.
I mean, I'm also assuming he probably died once the hole got drilled in his head.
Whoa, you just wait.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, probably not, because didn't, the...
Oh, don't give it away.
Oh, God. Okay.
Tars-
Okay.
Sorry, okay.
Okay, anyway. So he drilled a hole in this kid's brain, dumped some acid into it, realized he was out of liquor at his house.
Oh,
So
right.
Jeffrey Dahmer leaves the house.
Oh, my God.
Stops at the
Beer run.
Stops at the bar where he picked this guy up to have a drink. Stopped at the liquor store on the way back to get more booze. When he came back, he found the kid sitting outside his apartment building on the steps talking to a group of 3 women.
No.
And these women
Oh
were
my God.
ultra concerned because this boy I didn't figure out why he was bleeding out of his anus, but he was bleeding out of his anus. He wasn't speaking English because his brain
do you have
has
any guesses?
fucking acid
I mean,
in it.
there were phones in the 80s. Didn't any of these women think, I'm going to go call 911 real quick because you're
They
bleeding out of your
did call.
asshole?
They did call the police. So Jeffrey Dahmer comes up and he's like, "Oh, this is just my friend. He's fine. He's Laotian. He's fine." Trying to get him inside.
He's Laotian. This is just what they are
And the
like.
cops
the-
were like,
and the women-
cool.
And the women were like,
Totally kidding.
"Well, we already called the police. They're on their way. Don't take him. Something's wrong. Something's not right here." So the cops show up at that moment, and Jeffrey Dahmer tells them that this boy is his lover.
Oh, God.
And because it's Wisconsin in the 80s, which we're attributing an awful lot to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, "Ew, gay guy, just go. We don't want to deal with you. We don't even want to ask any more questions."
No way.
Ugh,
So the
Jesus
women are like,
Christ.
"You have to help. There's something wrong." And the cops were like, "Nope, just go.
Fuck
So
that
he
shit.
took him
Oh my
back up
God.
to his apartment and finished killing him.
No.
Yeah, and he didn't get caught. I think it was the next guy he eventually got caught.
I was really hoping this story was going to end with, and that's how Jeffrey Dahmer got caught, and that guy got saved and lived
Right.
happily ever after, and the acid didn't even hurt his brain. The end.
Nope. He did.
Oh my God.
And it turned him into a spelling bee champion. Let's go.
He's a genius now. God damn it.
Oh
That
my
is so
God.
sad.
I didn't know any of that about Jeffrey Dahmer. Well, I mean, the basics, but
I
not
only
that.
knew the basics about Jeffrey Dahmer.
And Jeffrey Dahmer died in prison. He was killed by a fellow prison inmate in 1994.
All right, well, I'm going to drink one to Jeffrey Dahmer.
Pour one out.
Pour one
for
out
that
I'm not
little
gonna-
Laotian boy.
I'm not pouring one out for anyone. This wine is precious. I'm pouring one out down my gullet.
I'm
and
pouring it
that's how I'm
out
gonna-
into my mouth.
into my mouth, and that's how I'm going to honor their memories.
It's what he would have wanted.
It is. I wholeheartedly believe that.
All right.
Oh my God.
Lucy, well
Okay.
done.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I don't know
learned a
how we're
lot.
going to top it, but we're going to try.
All right.
I know. Well, okay, I'll go next.
Okay.
Is that everything? You all
Yep.
done?
Yep, I'm all done.
Okay. Mine is quite different. So, I'm going to spin a little yarn for you guys, tell
Oh,
a
good
little
God.
tale.
Okay.
Between 2001 and 2011, the city of Nizhny Novgorod,
Nailed
who
it.
cares? Yep. Woo!
Let me guess, it's in Russia.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Experienced a huge surge in vandalism of cemeteries, leaving the local authorities perplexed.
I love where this is going.
Eventually, they turned to respected local professor Anatoly Moskvin, I don't know if I said that right, to help them solve the mystery of the grave robbing. They suspected that some sort of extremist group may have been at work, although the pattern of the graves targeted was really weird and like they weren't robbing graves to get jewelry or gold teeth or what normal grave robbers do. It was just kind of like bizarre graves that to be robbed.
Weird. Okay.
So the professor that they turned to, Moskvin, was a historian, journalist, and scientist. I'm saying was, even though he's still alive, just because, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
By the time this airs, who knows what could happen to him?
Right? It's Russia.
It's Russia.
He had a PhD in Celtic studies, spoke 13 languages, and was described by some as a genius. But most pertinently, I said that wrong, pertinently
nailed it.
To the authorities, he was a specialist on local cemeteries.
Okay, weird niche,
which
but
is
I'm
like,
following.
Yeah, all right. So he was also, in addition to being an academic and an eccentric and a cemetery expert, he was a hoarder.
Oh, God.
But in kind of like a cute academic way for the most part. So his, like the hallway,
No hoarders are cute. Hoarding is not cute.
In a cute academic way.
Unless you're like hoarding snacks to be eaten later. Then that's okay.
Don't judge. So the hallways in his home were like barricaded with books and papers piled from like the floor to the ceiling. Like you could barely walk in his apartment because there were so many books and papers. And it's estimated that his personal library had up to 60,000 volumes.
Jesus Christ. No.
In like a 2-bedroom, 3-room apartment.
No way he read them all. He's one of those.
Poser.
Love it.
You really read War and Peace? Really?
Really?
No.
The whole thing? You
No.
didn't stop like everyone fucking else?
Cliff Notes.
What's that book that all the stupid I'm gonna piss off so many people here. All the like philosophy major bros read.
Sophie's World?
Oh my God. Is
No,
it like Atlas Shrugged?
Ugh.
No, that's like Paul Ryan. The guy, David Foster Wallace.
Oh,
There
right.
you go.
The Infinite Jest.
Anyway.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking reads that. Nobody.
Boo.
Just that guy on the subway that tries to hit on you.
Don't mind me. I'm
Anyway.
just getting drunk and booing books over here. Like a true American.
Burn 'em!
Burn them! Burn them all! Except Harry Potter. Thank you.
Oh, God.
Okay, so in addition to all of his fucking books and papers, his apartment also contained what he called dolls.
Oh, no. No. No! No. I'm already so upset.
What he called.
So let's just go back to the premise of this story.
God damn it.
Which is that the police wanted help in solving the mystery of who was robbing graves.
I'm crying. Okay. I can get it together. Okay.
Soon after the police asked for his help, the Interior Ministry would discover 29 mummified corpses of women and girls.
29?
29 in a 2-bedroom apartment.
That is against the city code, I'm positive.
So many codes.
That's a lot of
Fire
bodies
code.
in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Some reports say that the corpses were between the ages of 15 and 26, and then other reports say between the ages of 3 and 12.
No.
Ew, that's a wide range. Why can't they?
So can we
why
just
is there
say
no
between the ages
consensus?
of 3 and 26 then? I mean, make it all encompassing.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll just be inclusive. Also,
3.
Really, brah, 26? That's the cutoff? Like,
Yeah.
I feel really old right now.
Yeah, what
Come
are
on.
we? Chopped liver?
We're past our prime at 29 and 30 years old.
And alive.
Thanks, society.
Fucking misogynist.
Patriarchal.
Chauvinist. All right. Okay, so reports differ as to how Moskvin acquired his obsession and how it was revealed to the authorities. So how he was discovered, basically, because they asked for his help, but they wouldn't necessarily go to his apartment just because he was helping them.
Yeah, he'd probably like go to an office or go to meet them.
Yeah.
He's not having them over for tea to hang out with his fucking corpses in his apartment.
Hey, they're dolls.
Oh, we'll get to the tea parties.
Oh, no!
Don't worry.
No! Okay. Oh my god, I hate everything about this. Continue.
Oh my god.
Shit.
So, okay, the most often repeated report of how his thing was discovered was that his parents came to visit him while on a holiday, and they grew suspicious. I wonder how long that took.
Not when they first walked in to his tiny apartment and saw the 30 fucking corpses lying around. Later, they grew suspicious.
Yeah.
I understand a parent's love knows no bounds, but come on.
Were they Were they just naked?
No, I will describe
we're
them
gonna
in
find
a moment.
out. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, and there are photos, and so listeners, after this episode airs, if you need to satisfy your curiosity,
blog.
there will
or
be
something else?
more information on our website, including photos.
Go to the blog
All right.
for photos. I hate
Parental
this podcast.
discretion.
I already hate
definitely-
this
There's also a video of the police going into the apartment and like
What?
scanning around. Yeah, there's
You
video.
know what?
You
know what? I'm drinking one for Russia for the like level of recorded, documented detail.
voyeurism.
That's props. Snaps where snaps are due. You nailed
Future
it.
generations will thank you for that.
Cool. All right,
us.
continue.
Possibly the parents notified the police. Anyway, doesn't matter. Moskvin called his 29 mummified female corpses his puppets or dolls, like I mentioned. He gave many of them stylized face masks. So some of them it looks like a fine mesh. It almost looks like the
What?
mask that people
Like cheesecloth?
No, it looks like the mask that people who fence wear.
Oh my god.
yeah,
Stop
some of them had that, but then way worse than that. Some of them had like this weird like paper mache type
can you found
consistency.
pictures of this shit?
Can we look
Yeah,
at the
there are
pictures yet?
Look at the pictures now. Go to the shared folder.
No.
I'm doing it.
No. Oh my god.
I've been waiting for this.
Wait. These are people? Those are people?
Those are people. One of them has a teddy bear head.
No. Kenyon, we've been really good friends for a really long time. This friendship is over.
Do you see the one with the like painted on eyes and really exaggerated like Kylie Jenner lips?
Yes, that was the first one.
She's wearing like a Victoria's Secret pink sweatshirt.
Yeah, she's basically wearing like that tracksuit
That's not
that
funny.
was popular by like Britney Spears at
It's
airports.
not funny. None of it is fucking funny. It's not funny.
I thought she was wearing a 420 hat, which I had to giggle at.
It looks like, holy shit. No, it's 101 Dalmatians like Disney sweatshirt.
Oh, that's right. It's a whole outfit.
That is I can't look at this.
Oh my god.
So go to the blog if you want to be so disturbed that you shit yourself and cry, because that's pretty much where I'm at right now.
Oh my god.
Also,
Teddy bear head.
but teddy bear head is pretty bad.
Oh my god.
Wait, I'm looking for teddy bear head. I can't find it.
It's like
What? I
Portugal
found
5.
it. No. Oh, you guys, go to the blog. This is a mess. I'm ashamed at how entertained I am by these photos.
Okay, so most of the outfits he also stole from graves, but not necessarily the same grave, so he would kind of like mix and match.
mix and match.
This
Oh
is
my god.
this is the worst thing
Oh
that
my
ever
god.
happened.
I'm having such a good day.
But actually, looking at these, I kind of get how the parents could come into the apartment and not realize that these are corpses.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
they
they're
are
totally
fucking
wrapped.
Not distinguishable. Like I would never have known if you hadn't told me that these weren't
They're just real creepy dolls.
fucked up, shitty doll makers reject garbage, like while they were trying to figure out what the fuck they were doing with their trade.
Yeah. He was friends with, like, some doll maker, too.
Oh, well, he wasn't paying
like,
attention when that doll maker walked him through how to make a fucking doll. Sorry, but he wasn't.
Really
I'm
fucking
sorry.
bad at it.
I'm like really
fucking bad apprentice
I'm really
doll making.
offended over the craftsmanship of these dolls.
How can you start with a literal human body and
turn it
fuck
into
up
that?
a doll?
Not possible. They all look like melted wax candles with like a permanent marker fucking face drawn on them.
So was he having sex with these? Because they're really wrapped up.
Woof.
Okay, yeah, they are definitely like all fully dressed. One was in a wedding gown, which is a little suspicious.
Also, really reminiscent of my future.
What?
I'll never be wed, so I'm just gonna put this corpse in a tux.
Oh my
and
say yes to the dress.
Oh my god, cut that. My boyfriend is doing all the sound mixing. I totally forgot about that for a second.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan. Sorry. I love you. No pressure, babe. No pressure. I'm gonna drink more. I'm drunk. I'm gonna drink more wine now. I'm gonna be so fucking hammered by the time I do my segment.
Use the hashtag propose Dan.
No! Oh my god, don't. He's gonna break up with me tomorrow.
No, he can't because I cannot mix the sound.
No, it's cool.
I'm so
we'll
bad
stay
at
friends so that he can mix the sound. It's cool.
Okay.
Oh my
It's
god,
cool.
you guys.
All right, back to Moskvin.
Right.
So, there is no evidence that he fucked any of them.
Evidence.
Well,
meaning condoms. Catch it all. Gotta catch them all.
Oh god.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I just spilled a lot of wine.
He also gave each doll a special keepsake,
Ugh.
such as a stuffed animal,
Face?
a plush heart. Yeah, one of them had a stuffed animal face. I don't know if that one
Good
counts.
God.
Luxury soap.
Why? What's the point?
What's luxury soap anyway?
I don't know.
Handmade artisanal soap.
Our Irish
Artisanal
Springs.
soap. Dove.
Oh my god, I'm fucking dying. Okay, continue.
Love the body you're in.
Stop. I'll never be able to watch a Dove commercial again. Women stroking their own armpits and just talking about how great it is. Okay,
Very
continue.
accepting.
Continue.
Okay. All right. Silk stockings and even music boxes, quote, so that they could sing for him.
Oh my god. Ew.
I hate it.
Okay.
I hate it.
As promised, he also held birthday and tea parties for his puppet.
How did I predict that? Oh,
He had a busy social
I've
life, okay?
never-
I mean, 29 birthdays to organize every year.
Did he have a family calendar? Because that
A
shit'll
Google
fuck you
Doc?
up if you don't.
He propped up his dolls so they could watch TV,
Ah.
usually cartoons and children's films, because he, quote, took an interest in their education.
Oh my god.
This is the worst thing ever. I fucking hate you so much.
Sweet dreams.
Okay. Can you please keep going? Because I'm in it now.
Power through. Just power through.
All right, so it kind of makes sense that he cared about their education.
Sure.
Because he he made the mummies because he said this to authorities after he was arrested, because he wanted to have a daughter as an heir who could become his assistant one day.
Right, because that's all women are good for.
God!
Fuck
the
you,
patriarchy.
Moskvin, you piece of shit. It's bad enough that you have made dolls out of the dead, but I want a daughter so she can be my assistant. Fuck you.
That
You
was
know
the
what?
last
What if she
straw.
wanted to become a dentist? What if she didn't want to study local cemeteries?
But can we just say thank God he didn't have a fucking daughter, because holy shit.
Yeah.
Could have
Maybe
been real
he
bad.
did.
Although,
And it was one of the dolls.
guys,
Ugh.
this may be the creepiest
No,
one.
there's more? I hate
Steal
you.
yourself.
One report claims that Moskvin attended a meeting at a local school for future parents. So he
Why?
could
Why?
so he could study up on how to take care of his babies.
Cool. So, hi, I'm Moskvin. You might know me. Moskvin. I don't know. I'm too drunk to speak Russian. I live in the community. I don't have any kids who are alive, but I have like fucking 30 dolls that are actually corpses, and I really care about their education, so I'm just going to come to like this PTA meeting and maybe like weigh in because I just really care about my fucking doll dead people, and like Caillou on the TV all day is not cutting it for me, so...
It's really hard for me to get my 29 daughters to talk about their day. I just want to get them to open up.
Do I have to pay for school lunches if they don't eat anything? Let's get down to logistics here.
Don't need a meal
I
plan.
refuse.
Yeah. Don't want to pay the school activities fee.
Oh.
They love soccer, though. They really love soccer.
Oh my god, I'm imagining him with all of them on marionettes, like just running them up and down a soccer field. That is so fucked up. I need to stop drinking. Holy
I'm
shit.
picturing a foosball table because they kind of look like foosball guys.
Fucking
No,
stop.
but they're huge. They're big.
Oh my god.
They're not like little. They're like body size.
They're
like
human. They are
they're
human
people.
Full size Barbie or whatever.
Holy
it's
Oh my
shit.
god, my size.
My size Barbie. Okay, I'm almost. Well, there's
Oh
some
god.
more. Okay, so like I said, there's no evidence that he fucked any of them.
Oh good.
So it seems that his love of corpses was most pure.
Oh my.
Oh. So he was like a tier 2.
Yeah, we should. I don't know. I can't remember all the tiers, but yeah,
I'll
he
diagnose
was.
him 1 second. Going back to my
Please
notes.
do.
Okay, he told a reporter after his arrest that he simply wanted to take the girls out of the cold where they'd been abandoned to warm them up and bring them back to life.
Aw, that's sweet.
That is really sweet.
That's kind of sweet.
I know, I literally have aw in my notes, so I'm really glad you guys said that.
It's like right after Christmas. Like it's Russia.
Yeah.
It's cold all the time. That's sweet. I can get behind that.
So, as far as diagnosing which tier, if we don't have proof that there was any sexual anything about it, then it's hard to diagnose. But I would venture a guess
You
that
are the expert.
that he was probably a tactile necrophiliac, aroused by touching or stroking without engaging in intercourse.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see
because he
that.
doesn't mention arousal or sexuality at all.
Right.
And he's been very open in, like, talking to the authorities and talking to reporters when they let him. And he hasn't mentioned sexual anything.
Yeah, but like, what the fuck does this guy have to lose? He's got an apartment full of corpses. It's not like he's gonna keep shit close to the chest when the evidence is all there.
I mean, really,
Yeah.
if we're thinking about, like, Eastern culture versus Western, they
Oh
would
god,
never,
here we go.
never come out and say, yeah, I fucked that corpse, or I got aroused by it.
I don't know. I don't know if culture has anything to do with that. I feel like it's just how fucked up, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not.
All right.
Maybe I'm not representing a population well by saying this. How deep into this necrophilia are you? I think it's person by person. I don't know if culture has anything to do with
Pretty
it.
deep.
I'm no expert, but
We don't
you're either
know
fucking
how
corpses
deep
or
it
you're
was,
not, and
though.
you're either talking about it or you're not.
Well, okay, hold on. Okay, so in total, Moskvin has been accused of desecrating more than 150 graves.
Holy
For
shit!
the clothes?
But not the getting the clothes and shit.
Well, he could have I think he desecrated or like entered a lot more graves than he took the corpses back with him.
Gotta
They
get
probably
sick
couldn't,
merch
you know,
for your
like-
dolls, know what I mean?
Well, just go to fucking
Yeah.
Sears. You don't need a dead person's clothes to dress another dead person. Like,
Be a
clothes.
Maxinista.
Geez, seriously.
Get a sewing machine.
Yeah.
Go on Etsy.
Learn a trade. You already know how
Goodwill.
to fucking mummify a corpse and make a doll. You may as well learn how to fucking use a knitting pattern or some
But
shit.
he sucks at that, though.
Okay, speaking of mummification,
Oh my God,
I Googled it.
No!
So most of the Google hits were fucking about the Egyptians. No one cares. So I had to dig a little bit deeper, but apparently there are instructions out there for mummifying various things, including a hot dog.
We have to try that. We have to do like a time-lapse mummification of a hot dog for our fans.
Yup.
We owe them that much.
We do owe them,
I'm in.
yes. Basically, all you do is you take like a box or container that can be sealed airtight.
So
And you put in
Tupperware.
like a Tupperware, basically. And you put in a ton of baking soda, like a fucking shit ton of baking soda,
Okay.
and some salt. And then you seal it away for a long time, away from extreme temperature changes.
Well, shit, if
at,
it's
like,
that
6 days or
easy, I
something.
could mummify every
I
hot dog
know.
I've ever had.
I'm mummifying a hot dog this weekend.
For sure.
I will post it on every platform.
Thank
I
God.
can't wait.
Report back. Lucy, that's your task.
So it seems like that's probably what Moskvin used, some composition of salt and baking soda.
So they are
But his-
mummified under all these clothes.
They'd have to
Yes,
be.
they are mummified.
They're
Yes.
really wrapped up.
Yeah, but they look
don't know.
thick.
Well,
look
if
real
they
Yeah,
thick.
it's-
if they were already buried, so they've
Right.
already been embalmed.
Sure.
So like
Okay.
decomposition isn't a factor.
Is everyone embalmed before they're
If
buried?
you're buried in a grave, you are embalmed. If you are cremated,
Yeah.
you are not embalmed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a I think it's an issue with like the city. Like if you're not embalmed and your body just melts away like it
Yep.
naturally does,
You're
it can
gonna
seep
leak out
into
of a
the
casket.
water.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're gonna
God.
leak.
Okay.
She sprung a leak.
My friend Phil lives at the bottom of a hill where there's
Oh
a
my
cemetery
God.
at the top, and sometimes
No.
his basement floods, and we just
No!
call it corpse water because
Lucy,
it is.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Ah!
Cool,
Shout
I'm
out,
living at
Phil,
the top of a
hey.
hill for the rest of my fucking life.
He made our intro. He and
That's
Corey
right.
made our intro music.
Snaps
so.
for snaps are due.
Okay, we got to get through this. So, he claims to have personally inspected some 752 cemeteries over just 3 summers.
That's bullshit.
It was like literally his whole life, and you have to remember that a lot of these cemeteries were spread out and in like pretty remote villages, and he's like taking public buses and like
Hey,
trekking
cool.
out to
He's
these
leaving a
places
small
by
carbon
himself.
footprint by using public transportation.
There you
But he's
go.
also
Yeah,
bringing
good guy.
corpses home with him on the bus.
Yes, and his neighbors reported that he often would like come home after these like day trips with like a
What?
huge pack.
And everybody was
Bodies.
like, nah, that's just our weird neighbor.
Yeah,
It's
like
chill,
a
we do
giant backpack.
it." What the fuck?
He just
Yep.
he just went to IKEA. It's one of those giant blue fucking
Yep.
duffel bags from IKEA.
Me too. I
Oh
always
my god, I
do.
love those. They're so great.
I've
So
stolen like
useful.
20 of those from
Yeah.
IKEA. Don't tell anyone.
You just told
You're giving them away as gifts.
Okay.
Oh my god. So
He admitted to bringing a crowbar and a shovel
Mm-hmm.
on his cemetery visits. I mean, you'd kind of have to. And to occasionally sleeping overnight in the graves
Oh, good
or
for him.
coffins.
Whoa.
that is some now and then scary bullshit.
Yeah.
This is the most Russian anecdote,
Oh, God,
literally,
okay.
of all time. Apparently, once a few grave diggers, like professionals, like
Mm-hmm.
starting their work day, came upon him sleeping in one of the graves one morning, but he ran off and they were too drunk.
Oh,
to
sounds
pursue
like
him.
me right now. If someone tries to break into my apartment right now and fuck with me, I mean, I am defenseless. I am here alone. I am literally a bottle in. This wine is gone. I mean, this is a case study. You can hear over the course of this podcast just how drunk I've become. And I haven't even done my segment yet.
Just how drunk I've come.
I've had a cup of soup today. We're not in good shape.
You're basically a Russian gravedigger.
Yeah, I'm
at
as
this
drunk
point.
as a Russian gravedigger. Nailed it.
Oh my God.
Down the hatch.
So Moskvin didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't have a lot of vices.
He sounds super lame.
Have a lot of vices.
What a loser.
He seemingly remained a virgin
What?
and did not appear to be interested in women, or at least, living ones.
Oh my God.
Ha ha! Ba-dum. Rim shot.
Oh my God.
Now, a lot of these reports, there were some in English, but a lot of them I had to just Google translate from Russian.
Oh no, that's super accurate.
So it was a lot of work, you guys.
Yeah. You went
Okay.
way deeper than I went in any of my notes. So sorry about it.
This is gonna be the reg because you have a lot of time on your hands.
Yeah.
I do. Okay, so he might have had, I don't know, he might have had a close friend named Julia.
Maybe.
Who a living person, who hitchhiked to St. Petersburg 10 years before, incidentally also at the time when he started robbing graves.
Oh,
just
cool.
saying, who disappeared. So
he
maybe
killed her.
she's an early victim.
he never killed anyone else.
That you know of.
Oh,
So-
no, you're right. He never killed anybody. He took them out of their graves, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, and I also
Interesting.
only saw this in one report,
Right.
so take it with a grain of salt and baking soda.
Yeah. Inappropriate.
I love it.
Okay, so neighbors described him as respectful and intelligent.
This is what I'm saying. This is the Nebbiolo effect. They're always
Yep.
so unassuming and get along with everyone.
Yeah, he looks
Yep.
nice.
They also, I have a picture in the folder. He looks like pretty
For a
normal.
Russian.
I
Like
hate
little
it.
salt and pepper hair. Yeah.
He's kind of
Neighbors
cute. Oh no.
shrugged off the often sickeningly sweet smell that would waft from his apartment,
Stop.
thinking that it was pest or rodent spray because a lot of the apartments had cockroaches and stuff.
Oh, they're
So-
probably like, nah, my neighbor's just a bad cook. It's cool. Don't worry about it.
Just makes a lot of terrible curries. I don't know.
Amanda,
my
this
God.
picture of him, the one captioned "declared insane," looks
Yup.
like Dan.
I know. I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah, he's cute.
he's got beautiful blue eyes and a great beard.
He does have really pretty eyes.
No, Dan is going to stop offering his services because we have hurt him many times over the course of this episode. Honey, I love you,
Sorry, Dan. Love you.
but you look like this Russian murderer. Continue.
Guys, it actually gets weirder.
No!
What the fuck? Are you almost done?
I'm sorry. There's so much.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay. He also worked as a journalist sort of and wrote frequently for local newspapers. His 2 weekly columns were entitled Great Walks Around Cemeteries
Stop!
and
I hate it.
and
Weekly column.
a weekly column, which is I need a subscription to that paper.
Yeah.
Sorry, New York Times, you're out.
Weekly walks
Washington
is
Post,
in.
you're still in, and Nizhny Novgorod Express is in.
Chronicle.
Okay, and the other column was called What the Dead Said.
Wow.
Because he was listening to them sing the night before.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. They said they like 101 Dalmatians.
Oh my god. Oh, too soon. Way too soon.
What was the time frame for this, by the way? Like the 90s?
2001 to
2000s.
2011.
What? The early aughts? Damn.
Yeah. He also published in various academic journals, such as Necrologies. So that's out there.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. In his last article for the journal, which was published just 1 week before he was taken into custody, Moskvin detailed the catalyst for his obsession with the dead. So he has some theories of his own of why he's doing this.
Oh, cool.
Besides wanting a daughter.
Good, weigh in.
Okay. He has an origin story. Okay.
All
Marvel,
heroes do.
pick this up.
He said, apparently, in 1979, when he was 13, he claims that people in black suits took him while he was on his way going home from school, dragged him to a coffin containing the body of an 11-year-old girl named Natasha Petrova, and forced him to kiss the dead girl.
Why?
He says,
why would anyone do that? I'm sorry.
It's
Go ahead.
Russia. It's Russia.
Fair.
He said that he had become an unwitting witness to and participant in a magical ceremony.
Oh, God.
And that, quote, I kissed her once, then again, then again.
Ugh.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
He said this in an academic article.
I love it.
That was published.
I love it.
Come on, peer review.
Nope. Let it all in.
Come on, detective work.
Let it all in.
According to Moskvin, the mystical ritual ended with the girl's mother putting wedding rings on him and the dead girl's fingers.
So they got married. Yep. Happy ending.
Yeah, he calls it his strange marriage, and that it was useful because the experience helped him to develop a deep interest in, quote, serious magic ceremonies.
You know what? He wanted to go to Hogwarts. We've all been there.
He didn't want to be a muggle.
Yeah, this was
he was
his
struggling with it.
retaliation for never getting his fucking Hogwarts letter. I get it.
And
I totally
in his
get it.
defense, he was only interested in the serious magical ceremony.
He didn't.
So he was being an adult about it.
Priorities.
He was very precocious
Yep.
for a 13-year-old boy.
Nailed it.
But then in another report, he had kind of a different story and blamed his obsession on his parents for taking him on long walks in cemeteries as a child.
Oh, yeah, that'll
So
make
always
you a
blame the parents.
necrophiliac.
I went on long walks in cemeteries.
We've all done it.
We went to a cemetery to do like grave etchings in Girl Scouts.
Yep.
I remember this.
Yeah,
My mom
he
was
can't
the troop
blame
leader.
that.
It was fucking
There was a
weird.
cemetery right next to that McDonald's in Excelsior, and if they didn't want us hanging out in the cemetery, why'd you put it next to a McDonald's? That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
You were
Where do you
asking
think
for
I
it.
ate my cheeseburgers? My
Ugh.
McChickens.
Yeah,
Hashtag Minnetonka
Nailed it.
Pride.
God bless.
Because of these inconsistencies in his story, it could mean that neither of those things ever occurred, and that
Right.
these are just his delusions that like are underpinning his fetish that he
Sure.
developed as an adult. Or maybe
I'm
it
going with that
happened.
theory.
Right, because it's Russia.
Yep. You never know.
Okay, so he was well respected in his field. His colleagues liked him, but in the last year or so before his arrest, his mental health did kind of appear to be unraveling. So he kind of held it together for like a decade, and then that last year, it was becoming apparent.
He came undone.
He
Yeah.
lost his touch.
Yep.
He lost his cool. His colleagues' suspicions were raised after hearing disturbing comments from him. In his last phone conversation with fellow historian Yulia Zadorozhna,
Nailed it.
Moskvin criticized her for, quote, not digging out the graves to conduct her research, which was on, like, war veterans. So she was going to graveyards to, like, document these war veterans, like, birthdays and death dates and stuff,
But not their corpses.
Yeah, no
not
need.
their corpses. Yeah, so Zadorozhna claims that Moskvin told her that she was not a real necropolist. A necropolist is somebody, I think, who's just really into cemeteries, but not corpses. Because she only studied the archives and not the skeletons. And then she's quoted in the newspaper as saying, "What would I need the skeletons for?"
The dolls, of course, the dolls.
Poser.
Yeah. Not a real necropolist.
Girl, until you
Okay.
digging that shit up, putting them in outfits, you ain't no real necropolist.
You
Damn.
know what
Walk
you're
in a
talking
man's
about.
shoes. Literally.
God damn it.
A dead man.
When news broke, he kind of became like a tabloid sensation in Russia, obviously, because it's the best story of all time.
This is like the 7th conversation you and I have had about this guy.
This guy is half the inspiration for this podcast. Was I just needed to tell everyone I possibly could about this guy, and I ran out of people in my immediate life. Okay. So some Russian papers said that he was a Satanist because of his morbid obsession and stories of magical ceremonies, but there's no evidence to suggest that he engaged in devil worship. His nicknames in the tabloids became Lord of the Mummies.
Ick.
And his apartment was described as a house of horrors.
Accurate.
I could debate that. It's just a bunch of books.
You don't
Books
think
and dolls.
his house was a house of horrors?
No, they're all wrapped up.
They weren't dolls. They were corpses.
I know, but that not to the naked
A
eye.
lot of people have weird doll collections.
Oh, shut up, Lucy. Get out of here.
I can respect the aesthetic.
Speaking of unraveling. Okay. All right, so he actively cooperated with the investigation, confessed about the circumstances of his crimes. He was like a real talker. The maximum punishment in Russia for desecration of a grave is 3 months jail time plus either a fine or community service. But remember, he desecrated like 150 graves. Also, this law mostly applies to people who desecrate graves as part of like hate crimes, which doesn't apply to him. So they're not going to take him to court criminally for
Sure.
this. So initially, the authorities had him psychiatrically evaluated, and he was certified as sane.
Okay. So he could stand trial.
Right, so they declared him fit for trial, but then somebody was like, hold up, wait a minute, and they did a more extensive monitoring of him in a psychiatric clinic, and a new judge declared him unfit for trial.
Right.
They're claiming that he's a paranoid schizophrenic, but I feel like that's a misdiagnosis. Listeners, if you know anything about schizophrenia, let us know, because it just
really
doesn't
line
seem...
up.
It's not
No, it
adding
doesn't
up.
add up.
It's not adding up.
I feel like it's not that accurate of a diagnosis.
It's
but
a
anyway, he is
conspiracy.
I'd call him a
fucking
tier
batshit.
2 necrophiliac.
Right? Yeah. All right. Amanda, go for it.
I'm going to try this. And I'm a little drunk. So here we go.
Had a lot of Nebbiolo.
It's pronounced
Nebbiolo.
Nebbiolo, but you know,
Nebbiolo.
you did your best. Okay. So
Never.
Ravioli.
I kind of have like 1.5 cases. My first one, a little more serious. Edmund Kemper III, a.k.a. the co-ed killer.
Oh, hell
Yep.
yes. I had a quote from him in my notes.
Oh, God.
So this guy, he's kind of the trifecta. He's a murderer, he's a necrophile, and he is a suspected cannibal. Little bit of backstory on this bad boy. He had kind of a rocky, as they quote, turbulent childhood. Okay? His mother abused him for like a grillion years, and by a grillion I mean like the formative 15. And there was a lot of bad shit going on there. He was living in Montana for a while as a young boy, and then he returned to California. He was diagnosed early in his life as a paranoid schizophrenic. This was prior to his conviction of any kind of murder. So this is shit that was showing up long before he started targeting his victims and doing any of this shit. Okay.
Was he in his early 20s or mid 20s like everybody is when they get diagnosed?
In his late teens, he was diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic, and he, again, had not murdered anyone, but he did spend some time in the Atascadero State Hospital and was considered a criminally insane juvenile. So they kind of saw some, like, shit that was going wrong, but they didn't really do, I feel like, a whole lot about it. They put him in this state hospital. I feel like they kind of forgot about him. He was released at the age of about 21. He convinced these psychiatrists at the Atascadero State Hospital that he was rehabilitated. He was a very charming person. This is kind of a consistent theme throughout all of our necrophiles here. They're all like so fucking charming.
Really sympathetic.
And again, I have pictures.
Really
you can
sympathetic.
refer to the blog for a picture of this guy. Not as cute as Jeffrey Dahmer. He's got kind of a molester stash and some weird Harry Potter glasses.
Yeah,
but like,
totally.
if I met this
mustache.
guy in a bar, I'd be like, cool. So you like fix computers? I'm assuming.
You're a gamer.
You work in
you work in
IT,
and you're a respectable human man. So
I'm sorry. He's real frumpy.
Okay, that's his.
Yeah, an IT guy.
I would be
He's an
frumpy
IT guy.
in my like fucking mug shot too, though. To be fair,
Yeah.
he doesn't have a lot to work
Yeah,
with. He
right.
didn't shower that day. I'm assuming
Yeah.
he got caught.
Yeah, he's going through a lot.
So anyway, some time goes by after his first, diagnosis and subsequent juvenile delinquency and capture, I suppose. He gets out. He's 21. He is wandering the land. He gets the name of the co-ed killer because he does this shit where he wanders around looking for co-eds who are hitchhiking. And again, he ran rampant in the 70s. So hitchhiking was sort of like a weird cultural thing. Like everyone was fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Which I will never understand.
We're going to do a whole episode on hitchhiking,
Okay,
I feel
thank
like.
you. Because so many people die. So many people die
Yeah.
as a result of being hitchhikers. And maybe we were born in the late 80s and we're like cognizant in the aughts, so we know to not fucking ask some random stranger for a ride.
It's fucking crazy.
But it led to so many people dying. So
Yeah.
My dad used to hitchhike to school every
he's-
day in Waterloo, Iowa, and I asked him why the fuck he felt safe doing that, and he's like,
Nah,
it's fine.
fuck that.
Eh." Like, it did not cross
he's
our
ridiculous. So
Okay.
this man, Edmund Kemper III, which, can I also note, is totally the name of some evil white guy who would serve on Trump's cabinet. But that's neither here nor there. I thought that when I
he's
saw
like
that.
assistant treasury secretary.
Thank you. He's going to run education. This man abducted and murdered at least 6 female students, as well as killing his paternal grandparents and his own mother.
Oh.
So he finally
Oh my
got
God.
his against his abusive mom, which, like, cool.
Oh,
but,
right.
like, what the
Oh, right.
fuck
She was
did the
abusive. I forgot
grandparents
about
have to
that.
do it, or the 6, at least, at minimum, innocent co-eds that he picked up and murdered?
Yeah.
So clearly he's a pissed off guy.
Yeah,
There is
there's a line.
He's a madman. Literally a mad, angry.
So necrophilia-wise, he killed and then had sex with his
Yep.
mother's corpse,
So
right?
I classify him as a homicidal necrophile. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into that a little bit.
I wonder if there's a sub part of an incestuous homicidal necrophile.
Tier
Does it
11.
matter? Does it matter
Yeah.
the motivation behind the killing in the first place if you still defile the corpse sexually every time anyway? Again, listeners, if you have any expertise, I'd love to hear it.
If you have insights.
But anyway,
We won't
Well,
report
we won't.
you again.
We won't.
We repeat.
I mean, that's like two huge taboo, 3 huge taboos in one, like killing,
fucking and eating.
incest, and
Oh, okay, then 4
necrophile.
taboos.
And cannibal. So 4. So he hit the
Again,
4
he's
taboos.
a suspected cannibal, so I didn't really find any concrete or really anything suggesting that he fucking ate them, but let's just assume he did because this guy's fucking crazy. So, during his killing spree in the early 70s, because everyone with a creepy mustache and Harry Potter glasses killed people in the 70s, he...
Oh, it looks like my
course.
dad, though, kind of.
Don't say that. Poor Sean.
He had that
Sorry,
mustache
Sean.
and those glasses. I'll show you
Stop.
a picture later.
No,
Not
your dad
cool.
is way cuter. Your dad looks more like Anatoly.
But if my dad was a serial killer, would you be surprised?
Yes!
Yeah.
Of course I would. I've known him for literally, I'm having a hard time, like 20 of the 30 years I've been alive. So yeah, I'd be surprised if he was a serial killer. Okay, back to Edmund Kemper III. Okay, so during his killing spree in the early 70s, he targeted young female hitchhikers by offering them rides, obviously, driving them to a remote area, murdering them, and taking their corpses back to his home to have his way with.
How did
So-
he murder them?
That's a
Good
good question.
question.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm assuming stabbing, but I can look
Yeah.
into that.
Classic.
This is obviously really bad. Like, this is the worst, most monstrous man in the history of men. But it's actually not the worst part, okay?
Oh my god.
Several of
He
his victims...
fucked his dead mother.
Oh, no. It's worse than that.
Oh my god.
Several of his victims were beheaded And there was forensic evidence, aka sperm,
Oh my
that
god.
indicated he had fucked their severed heads, like their neck holes.
Oh my god.
I know. I was like physically gagging when I was looking this shit up. I couldn't I'm gonna light my computer on fire. It's not cool. Not cool.
He was just ticking off boxes.
I know. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I feel like you're right. He was trying to check off like what's the worst fucking shit I could do. And
He also wore socks with sandals.
right?
It was just like, that's it. That's
If
everything.
if he were around in the age of Crocs, he would have been all over that shit. All over it. He had a super high IQ. He was recorded at like 145. So there's that. I know we discussed earlier that there's no real correlation, but dude was real fucking smart, real charming.
Murder, though. I mean,
Right.
necrophilia. But
Murder,
I don't know
though.
about homicide.
Hashtag murder though. So he obviously dude went to jail for a long time, and he was always like super chill about giving interviews, which I find kind of funny. Like if I murdered a bunch of co-eds and fucked their neck holes, I don't think I'd really want to talk about it that much. But he
I don't know.
he kind of went for it.
Was he fucking their neck holes or their mouths?
Yeah.
Well,
I
forensic
didn't even
evidence
think about
leads
mouths.
to the neck from
Oh.
the research I
So
found.
he's fucking the neck that's still part of the
Yes.
head, not still part of the
attached
body.
to the head.
Ooh.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm assuming there was also semen in the mouth. I mean, if you're going for the neck hole, you may as well
They're
also go for
connected.
the mouth. The neck hole connects to the mouth hole.
Oh my god.
I know, that's wrong.
There's a lot of crime scene photos on Google. If
Yeah.
any of our listeners are interested, or something to avoid.
Yeah,
Don't
I
Google
don't
this
recommend
man.
Googling it. I included his mugshot. I did not include the crime scene photos. They are bloody. But
I'm
Yeah,
totally
no. Oh, God.
Instagramming the like rap album cover of him in like some prison hallway. He's like kneeling down with his arms crossed.
Okay,
kind
so
of spectacular.
Oh my
I'm glad you bring that up, because the interview that he gave was obviously after he was incarcerated, and there's some interesting shit there. So he said of the act of decapitation, quote, "I remember it was very exciting. There was actually a sexual thrill. It was kind of an exalted, triumphant type thing, like taking the head of a deer or an elk or something would be to a hunter." So we've got that whole trophy bullshit
Yeah.
running
Fucking
theme.
literally.
Yeah, he fucking cut their heads off with like the idea of I'm gonna fuck it first, and then I'm gonna mount this shit to my wall and look at it forever.
Okay, so I don't know
Oh my
how I don't know
God.
how reliable this quote is, but as I said, I'm looking at Google Images, and as you started reading that, I found what must be a part of that quote.
Yep.
It says, "I remember there was actually a sexual thrill. You hear that little pop and pull their heads off and hold their heads up by the hair.
Yep.
Whipping their heads off, their body just sitting there. That would get me off."
It's in the transcript. That is legit.
Oh my god.
Fully legit. So he goes to jail, right? And this guy's kind of a fucking piece of work. And he and another serial killer in jail by the name of Herbie Mullen.
Love
Let's
it.
just reflect on that for a moment. We're next door neighbors in their security prisoner cell block at the San Mateo County Jail. This was before Mullen was tried and convicted. They just spent some time there. Kemper made no secret of his disdain for Mullen from the first moment of their meeting in San Mateo.
Oh no.
Quote,
Oh, no.
"You're a no-class killer," he taunted him. He fucking started like a serial killer turf war with his next
Oh, my
door
God.
neighbor, because he was like, "I've fucking done more shit than you," and was fucking
Yeah.
taunting this guy and got into a bunch of fights with him. Yeah, it's crazy. And then during Edmund Kemper's trial, he admitted to having thrown water through the cell bars into Mullen's cell to, quote, "shut him up when he was disturbing everybody by singing off-key in his high-pitched, squeaky voice."
I feel for that
do.
man.
I
Right?
would have done the same
Sometimes.
thing.
When I read that,
Yeah, you gotta
I was
sing.
like, I get you, boo. I fucking get you. I would be so irritated. So irritating.
Kenyon's taking the other position. She just said,
Totally.
you gotta sing.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
I
fuck
would've
that.
doused
Fuck
you
that.
with water.
Kenyon, if we were cellmates...
I have a terrible singing voice, and if it bothers anyone, they can fuck off.
Little known
No.
fact, Kenyon is completely fucking tone deaf. If she were my cellmate and singing songs all day, I would fucking
I'd kill her.
shank the shit out of her. She would drive me nuts. Nuts.
Kill the shit out of you.
We'd kill you. We'd kill you in jail. Sorry about it. Sorry, not
Well,
sorry.
then you wouldn't get to hear my Barbara Streisand, my Toni
Guys.
Braxton, my Cher.
God damn it. But there's more. There's more.
Tony Braxton.
Still in regards to Kemper's relationship with his next door neighbor Mullen, Kemper added, "When he was a good boy, I gave him peanuts. He liked peanuts."
Circus peanuts?
Kemper said of the alternative water treatment and the peanuts, it was behavioral modification treatment. The jailers
He
were
was training him like a dog.
jailers were very pleased with me. So he punished him when he was annoying, and he gave him peanuts when he was good.
I like this guy.
And the
I like
fucking
him.
staff of this jail was like, yeah, you do you. You're crushing it. Fucking get it.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix
But
it.
Kemper said later, quote, "You know, though, it really sticks in my craw that Mullen only got 2, quote, firsts, and I got 8. I'm assuming that's reflective of how many people he killed. I don't really
Firsts?
fucking know what that means.
Oh, like first degree murder?
Like records? Like Guinness records?
I bet first degree murder.
Right, and he got 8 first-degree murders. There you go.
Oh,
That makes sense.
There we go.
He continues by saying,
Yeah.
quote,
Okay.
"He was just a cold-blooded killer running over a 3-week period, killing everybody he saw for no good reason." Which I would say alludes to the fact that Kemper was a little bit more calculated in who he chose to pick up and, you know, drag into the abyss and murder and then fuck their neck holes. Yeah,
He was
Well,
discerning.
I respect that.
he had standards.
He did.
Again, in
Oh
this
my
interview,
God.
he paused for a moment, then broke into laughter, saying, "I guess that's kind of hilarious, my sitting here so self-righteously talking like that after what I've done." He
So
totally
he's
knows.
self-aware. He
He totally knew what the
Oh
fuck
my
he was
God.
doing and how
Okay.
horrible it was. Used it to become, like, weirdly famous. Gave interviews wherever the fuck anyone wanted an interview. Taunted his next-door neighbor serial killer. Held how many people he killed over his next-door neighbor serial killer and how many he killed. I mean, it's just, like, so disgusting how this person ran with his accomplishments and made it into some, like, weird...
He wanted to be recognized for his legacy. Like, he wanted
Which,
some
sure.
Who
props.
doesn't?
Me too.
Who doesn't?
But there's a line.
So, obviously,
man.
he kept giving interviews to the press, which probably accounts for all of these quotes that I keep seeing
Yep.
online. Stop me if I'm going to interrupt you before you're going to say
You're perfect.
something.
Roll with it.
Okay, so there's another quote that I have heard before, but I didn't know if it was attributed to him.
Mm-hmm.
It goes, "When I see a pretty girl walking down the street, I think 2 things. One part wants to be real nice and sweet, and the other part wonders what her head would look like on a stick."
Yep. And
Oh,
I mean,
God.
again, we're coming back to this
He's
whole...
honest.
He was diagnosed with some shit. He clearly, mentally, is not firing on all cylinders. This is a kid... Or too many cylinders.
Nah.
I
Or
mean,
too
this
many
is a kid who has
cylinders.
grown up in a lot of negative shit. But it's like, without parameters to decide where this shit comes from, we have no idea. Any random, unassuming person could end up like this, or someone who is abused forever as a child. I mean, we don't have any kind of, like, solid parameters for how necrophiliacs and murderers become necrophiliacs and murderers. So what do?
Mm-hmm.
Trust no one. Right?
It's so crazy.
Fucking trust no one.
Anyone could be a necrophiliac.
Anyone. Look to your left.
Necrophile.
Look to your right. According to the statistics
those
that we're about to make up
Oh my God.
right here on the spot, one of those people,
This is 100%
hashtag
factually
alternative facts,
inaccurate.
one of those people is a murderous necrophiliac. So fucking watch yourself.
0.08% of one of those people wants to have sex with a corpse.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Someone
Don't
is
act like you ain't
picturing
curious.
your head on
Don't
a
act
stick
like you ain't curious.
somewhere in the world.
So that was my more like serious,
Oh my
super
God.
fucked up guy. But I also found one that we have not touched on at all. And Lucy, I don't think this person falls perfectly within the parameters that you said at the beginning of the episode, but I'm going to call this person an opportunistic necrophiliac. So I guess you can weigh in once you hear this story. So, you know we love a somewhat local story. So here's a good one out of, again, Wisconsin. What the fuck is up with Wisconsin, by the way?
Fucking Wisconsin,
Oh,
you
man.
guys.
Leave.
You're fucked
Just
up.
leave.
Yeah.
Just Wisconsin, just leave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucked
this is
up.
Secede
Minnesota
already.
is
Just
so much
secede.
better. Sorry.
Take Scott Walker with you. Go away.
boy bye. This is our embarrassing
Yes,
sister state that we
yes.
just usually don't mention. In 2006, so we were literally 1 year out of high school, Bryan James Hathaway was only 18 years old when he gained international notoriety as that guy who had sex with a dead deer. Yep.
That is
just wait,
the
'cause
most
Walmart
Wisconsin
factors
thing
into
I've
this
ever heard.
too. But let's get back to the dead deer.
The victim. Let's keep this victim focused.
Yeah, keep this victim focused. The deer. While leisurely taking a bike ride, he happens upon a dead deer. Obvious next step, he gets hard. He drags the carcass deep into the woods for privacy.
He's a teenager. He's a teenage boy.
Makes sweet, sweet, gentle love to this dead deer.
Oh my god.
So,
For her pleasure.
right, for her pleasure. This was his first dabble in bestial necrophilia. That is the actual term for sex with a dead animal, is bestial necrophilia,
Wow.
which only means it's happened enough fucking times for them to make a term for it. You guys, we
Can I
need to
inter-
write the thing.
we are
Can I
adding
interject
so
real
many
quick?
tiers.
One more tier. There
Of
is
course.
necrophilia in the animal world, like kind of commonly.
So there you go.
Wait, animals fuck dead animals?
Yeah, live animals fuck dead animals.
I just poured the last of the wine. The wine is gone. Here we go. I wasn't listening. Here we go. The wine is gone. Okay. So, that's his, like, apparently first time with bestial necrophilia. So you're wondering, who does this harm? How did he get caught? Cool. I'm about to tell you. Here we go. So again, he lives in rural Wisconsin. He's got
Obviously.
neighbors. He has neighbors, but these neighbors are farmers. And they're kind of far away from his house. So he wanders to his neighbor's house, who is a farmer, who owns horses. Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Borrowed the family gun.
So now
I
we're
mean, I
on
don't know
to
how many tiers we're looking
equestrian
for, but
necrophilia.
This makes 12.
He borrows the family gun. So I think this is moving him into the tier of homicidal necrophilia because he shoots his neighbor's horse to death in order to have sex with it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is a tier. This is an existing tier, you guys.
So this is bestial necrophilia combined with homicidal
He's
necrophilia.
evolving.
He is shockingly caught because said neighbor hears the gunshot,
They're home?
wanders. Oh, they're fucking home.
Oh my god.
He did not check. He did not check to see if they're home. Neighbor hears a gunshot, wanders to the fucking barn, and is like, bro, why are you literally fucking my dead horse? Not cool. I'm gonna call 911.
They say beating a dead horse, but he's beating off to a dead
Inside.
horse.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Inside of a dead horse, he is having sex with the dead horse. Okay? So, he gets arrested. He confesses to fucking the deer. Obviously was caught red-handed or red-dicked. I don't know. Fucking the horse.
read something.
and was court-ordered both jail time and some psychological treatment. Okay? So he goes through that. My research shows he's kind of like under the radar for maybe 5 to 7 years, okay? He goes quiet. He gets in trouble again in 2012 at a Walmart in Hermantown, Minnesota.
In where?
Hermantown. I had to do so much research to verify this was a real town.
Hermit Town?
It is Hermantown.
Oh,
It's
Herman.
tiny. It's like smaller than Baudette.
I heard hermit.
It's basically
Googling
a hermit
Hermantown.
town, but it's Hermantown.
Oh, it's up by Duluth.
Yep, it's up by Duluth. He was arraigned in state district court in Duluth, charged with 4 crimes, including assaulting a female police officer who was off duty and shopping with her 11-year-old daughter when she saw Bryan shoplifting, which led to this whole explosive thing in the first place.
They always get caught for the dumbest shit, like taillight out.
Right? What are you stealing, chapstick? Like, what the fuck else does Walmart have to offer?
Slow cookers.
Anyway,
Really good
so
steaks.
she sees him shoplifting. She makes move to apprehend him, and she calls 911 for backup. And while, she's waiting for them to show up, he's trying to get away, and he grabbed her, and he threw her on the ground, and it resulted in some minor injuries, and obviously it's a fucking cop, so you're totally screwed. He's caught when backup arrived, because fucking duh. There's you're in a Walmart parking lot with an off-duty cop detaining you. Like, what the fuck did you think was going to happen? And he's taken to jail. Hathaway is charged with 4th-degree assault of Officer Cody Vetter. Thank you, girlfriend, for stopping
Shout
in his
out. Yeah, girl.
tracks. Shout out to Cody. He's also charged with obstructing the legal process, fleeing on foot, and receiving stolen property. And by receiving, I'm assuming they mean taking stolen property. But my favorite thing is, despite all of the reporting on his petty crimes, no matter what he does in the rest of his life, assault of a police officer, theft, anything, this dude's only going to be remembered as the deer fucker from Wisconsin. And that is a super powerful legacy. Like, who wouldn't
Imagine
want to go
how
down?
bad Ed Kemper would have made fun of this dude in jail.
Oh, my God.
If they had been cellmates, Kemper would have given him so many peanuts. So many
I just
peanuts.
Googled Bryan, Wisconsin deer fucker, and a lot of things
Dude, there's
showed
a
up.
whole campaign. There is a whole campaign called Free Bryan, whatever his name is. What's it called? Free Bryan Hathaway, where people are like, he didn't hurt anyone by fucking this deer. Or I guess that horse that he killed. And people rallied behind
my
him
God.
and wanted to get him out of
The
jail.
caption is, join one of the most important social justice fights of our time.
Take a back seat, Black Lives Matter. We're going to focus on freeing Bryan Hathaway for fucking a deer.
Black Lives Matter.
Oh my
Like,
god.
this is what's wrong with society. This is the shit that got fucking Donald Trump elected as
because he's a
president.
white guy, so it doesn't matter
Deer
if he assaults
fuckers
a
of the
police
world.
officer and fucks a dead deer.
It doesn't matter. This is what we're spending our
Who's he
resources
hurting?
on as
Not
citizens.
the dead
It's to
deer and
free
not the
Bryan
woman,
Kemp.
because she doesn't have emotions. You have the right to hurt her.
And the horse.
Are you reading this
What?
off of one of those pages? Because it fucking sounds
No,
like
you're
it.
just drunk.
I'm
no,
inferring.
She's not.
Yeah, I've had a
am
bottle of
drunk.
wine. So put me in the category of Amanda right now.
Nailed
Oh
it.
my god. All right.
Get on my level. That's what I have to bring to the
Okay.
table today, and I really appreciate you sticking around
That
to hear
was
it.
amazing.
We can close out with a joke.
Yes. Yep.
I wrote it down so I don't fuck it up because I knew I'd get drunk before I was able to tell it. What do you give the cannibal who's late for the picnic?
I don't know. What?
The cold shoulder.
That is the dad joke of cannibalism.
It's actually the Chuck joke from Cedar Falls, Iowa. Shout out, you know who you are.
Right. Awesome. All right. Well, in addition to special thanks to Chuck for that amazing joke, Special thanks this week to all of our amazing true crime weirdos who are already supporting us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, Patreon, our website, everywhere. You guys are incredible. We haven't even put out an episode.
Love it.
We haven't even put out an episode yet, and you guys are all over it, sending us love and thanks and spreading the word, and we really appreciate you and all of your weirdness. So,
thank you so much.
Yep. Keep it creepy.
Thanks for listening. Our cover art is by Kali Yip. Music by Phil Young and Corey Wendell. Sound mixing by Dan Larson. Be sure to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Wine and Crime Pod. All Wine and Crime episodes are available on SoundCloud. For more episodes and info, visit our website at wineandcrimepodcast.com. Until next week, keep it creepy.